Kia ora koutou, I'm Michael Fletcher and I'm Principal of Chaucer School here in Tamaki Makaurau in our fantastic country of Aotearoa, New Zealand. Here are 3 things I Catswapper Part 2. 3 things I know about the $6,000 wellbeing payment Part 2. And by wellbeing payment, I'm of course talking about the $6,000 payment we received last year and this year too. I'll just check the collective. The purpose of this support is to ensure principal leadership development and well-being. Thing number 1, services, not assets. When I'm thinking about what to spend the money on, or colleagues ask me for advice around spending this money, I keep this distinction at the forefront of my mind. For example, spending the money on attending a conference, buying an exercise bike. What about travel to a conference, either here in Aotearoa or overseas? But remember, your board need to approve travel if it's overseas travel. Sessions with a coach or professional supervisor. Buying a boogie board. Professional counselling or psychologist support. And a reminder that if your school was already paying for coaching or professional supervision for you before the 6K payment came in, the collective says, accessing this entitlement does not prevent a principal and school board from agreeing that the principal can access additional coaching and support in excess of the $6,000 payment. So you could still get school to pay for your coaching and use the 6K on something else. Thing number 2, don't stress, get advice. If you're not sure what to spend the money on, or you know what you want to spend it on, but you're unsure if it sits within the guidelines, don't stress, contact your union or contact one of the newly appointed Principal Leadership Advisors. For example, if you're a member of the PPCB, they've compiled some guidelines around the payment and they completed these in consultation with the Ministry and the Office of the Auditor General. If you're in NZEI, ring their 0800 number or contact a PSO. I'm not as familiar with the secondary school principal guidelines around this payment. However, I do know that the wording in their collective is exactly the same as the wording in the primary principals collective. And also PPTA have a document on their website containing guidelines around the payment. Thing number 3, spend it. I carried over most of my 2023 payment to this year, and I'm going to make sure I spend it this year. I advise you to do the same. I firmly believe that we should fight to have this payment embedded in our collective agreement so that it doesn't come up for renegotiation at the end of every collective term. But that might be a clip for another day. When it comes to spending money on themselves, many colleagues talk to me about the G word, guilt. If you need a bit of help working through the G word or anything related to putting yourself first, drop us an email. We work with principals and leaders, empowering them to own their well-being. We provide one-to-one coaching and mentoring, and we present to principal groups and at conferences. If you'd like to know more, get in touch. Thank you for watching, and remember to ask yourself, what do I need right now? Kia kite anō.